The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it.
How you doing? So everybody behave. And action. Okay, now rolls. Passing retreat view, on retreat view. Today's date is February the 27th. It's now 5:20 in the afternoon, 17:20 hours. And this is reference to Sanford Police case number 2012
1136.
1136.
This is where he tells me he first sees him.
First spots him here?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're stopping at the bend. This is retreat.
This is still retreat view circle.
Okay. So at this point, he doesn't get out of his car. He spots him and he's watching him, right?
It's about where 1440 is that he indicated on the map. Is about where he saw him.
Okay.
When he first spotted him.
And he's walking in what direction? The
person is walking towards the whole house.
Which is through the opening right there?
I'm trying to figure out where the keys to the car.
Okay, so through that opening right there?
No. He's walking up through here.
Okay.
He's continuing down retreat view circle.
Why don't you go ahead and ride with him to get the audio from inside there? See what he's talking about? Well, I guess not.
He's going to stop again up here because he's...
Okay.
Let him get in the back.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna pause it.
Pick him up at.
Right here, right in front of this house.
Okay. Right in front of 1460?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what was he was walking in between the buildings, or?
He was walking like in the grassy area, like up towards, kind of between these two poles, and like I said, it was rainy, and he was just leisurely looking at the house, and like I said, I left for the grocery store, and I just felt like something was off about him.
Right.
So I said, and there's been a history of break-ins in that building, and I called previously about this house.
Right.
When the police arrived at this house, when I called the first time, the windows were open and the door was unlocked. And the police came and secured it. So I said, you know what, it's better to just call, and I kept driving. I passed him, and he kept staring at me and staring around, looking around to see who else was. I don't know why he was looking, but
Did he walk off from there, or did he stop there last night?
he stopped, and he like looked around, and that's why that's what threw me off. Was it's raining. I didn't understand why somebody would be just stopping in the rain, especially. You know, then it wasn't like he was trying to run to get out of the rain, and I had never seen him before. Didn't look like he was exercising.
Where was he standing at when he stopped?
Right in front of 1460.
On the sidewalk or in the grass?
No, in the grassy area.
Right in the grassy area.
Yes.
Okay. Like about right in front of where the car is.
Yes, sir.
And then
I drove past him.
Okay.
And I went to the clubhouse.
All right.
Up here on the right-hand side.
And parked up there.
Yes, sir.
And what was his naturally? You're good. Naturally, he left. He caught up to you up here, or?
Yes, I called the non-emergency line, and when I got through, I parked at the clubhouse.
All right.
And they asked me, where I was, and I told them the clubhouse, and I think I gave them the address of the clubhouse.
Where'd you park at?
Right up here next to that green truck. I don't think that truck was there, but I just pulled up in there.
So you just pulled in here?
Yes, sir.
And this is where you got out?
No. This is where I just stopped to call, and then he walked past me, and he kept looking at my car, and still looking around at the houses and stuff. So then the dispatcher said, where did he go? What direction did he go in? And I said, I don't know. I lost, because he cut down here and made a right. I guess it's Twin Trees Lane. He made a right in there, and they said, well, what direction did he go in? And I said, I don't know, I can't see him.
Okay.
And they said, can you get to somewhere where you can see him? And I said, yeah, I can. So I backed out.
All right.
And I made this right here. Left here, and I parked right about where that sign is in the yard.
In front of the Ford truck?
Yes, and I saw him standing right about here. And I saw him walking back that way and then cut through the back of the houses. He looked back and he noticed me and he cut back through the houses. I was still on the phone with non-emergency. And then he came back and he started walking up towards the grass and then came down and circled my car. And I told the operator that. He was circling my car. I didn't hear if he said anything.
Right.
But he had his hand in his waistband. And I think I told the operator that. And they said, where are you? And I could not remember the name of the street. Because I don't live on this street.
Right.
Retreat View Circle goes in a circle.
Right.
And I said, I don't know. And he goes, we need an address. And I said, I don't know an address. I think I gave them my address. And they said, give us directions to get to you. And I said, if you tell the police to go straight at the clubhouse and make a left, my truck will be there. And again, they asked me where he went, what direction he went in. And I said, I don't know. And then I thought to get out and look for a street sign.
Right.
So I got out of my car and I started walking.
Right. Go ahead.
Oh. I was still on the phone with non-emergency and I started walking.
Okay.
Down this way. And because I didn't see a street sign here, but I knew if I went straight through that's Retreat View Circle, and I could give him an address, because he said, just give me the address of the house you're in front of.
Okay.
And there's no address, because these are the back of the houses. So I walked straight through here, and I didn't see him at all. I was walking, and I was still on the phone with the non-emergency.
Okay.
I got to about here, and I had a flashlight with me.
Okay.
The flashlight was dead though, and I looked around and I didn't see anybody. And I told non-emergency, I said, you know what? He's gone. He's not even here.
Right. So
I still thought I could use their address, so I walked all the way through. And I actually walked all the way to the street, and I was going to give them this address, and they said, well, if he's not there, do you still want a police officer? And I said, yes. And they said, do you still want a police officer? And I said, yes. And they said, are you following him? Oh, I'm sorry, back there they said, are you following him? And I said, yes, because I was, in the area. And they said, we don't need you to do that. And I said, okay. So that's when I walked straight through here to get the address so that I could meet the police officer. And then they said, I said, he's not here. They said, do you still want him to come? And I said, yes. And they said, where do you want him to come to? And I said, you know what, just tell him to meet me at my truck next to the clubhouse. If he goes straight in through the clubhouse and makes a left, I have a Honda Ridgeline, silver Honda Ridgeline parked right there. I'll meet him right there. So I started walking back. When I got to, I passed here, I looked, I didn't see anything again, and I was walking back to my truck. And then when I got to right about here, he yelled from behind me to the side of me. He said, "Yo, you got a problem?" And I turned around and I said, "No, I don't have a problem, man."
Where was he at? About?
He was about there, but he was walking towards me.
Okay, so he's coming from this direction here.
Yes, sir. I believe, like I said, I was already past that, so I didn't see exactly where he came from, but he was about where you were.
Okay.
And I said, "No, I don't have a problem." And I went to go grab my cell phone, but I left it in a different pocket. And I looked down in my pant pocket, and he said, "You got a problem now." And then he was here, and he punched me in the face.
Right here?
Right
That's fine.
up around here.
Okay.
To be honest with
That's
you,
fine.
I don't remember exactly.
That's fine.
I think I stumbled, and I fell down. He pushed me down. Somehow he got on top of me.
On the grass or on the cement?
It was more over towards here. I think I was trying to push him away from me, and then he got on top of me somewhere around here. And that's when I started screaming for help. I started screaming, "Help, help," as loud as I could. And then is when he grabbed me. Oh, I tried to sit up, and that's when he grabbed me by the head and tried to slam my head down.
Were you on this, like I said, were you on the cement or were you on?
No, my body was on the grass. My head was on the cement.
You can see your best like this and this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's as best as I could feel through my jacket. Was I felt like my body was on the grass and my head was on the cement, and he just kept slamming and slamming. And I kept yelling, "Help, help, help," as loud as I could. He put his hand on his nose, on my nose, and his other hand on my mouth. He said, "Shut the fuck up." And then I tried squirming again, because all I could think about was when he was hitting my head against it, felt like my head was going to explode, and I thought I was going to lose consciousness. So I tried to squirm so that I could get, because he only had a small portion of my head on the concrete. So I tried to squirm off the concrete. And when I did that, somebody here opened the door, and I said, "Help me, help me." And they said, "I'll call 911. I said, "No, help me. I need help." And I don't know what they did, but that's when my jacket had moved up, and I had my firearm on my right side hip. My jacket moved up, and he saw it. I feel like he saw it. He looked at it, and he said, "You're gonna die tonight, motherfucker." And he reached for it, but he reached, like, I felt his arm going down to my side, and I grabbed it, and I just grabbed my firearm, and I shot him one time.
After you shot him, keep on going. What did he say?
After I shot him, he like sat up.
You're still in this position here, basically.
Yes,
You're
sir.
laying down here. You shot him, so he's in the grass.
Yes, sir. He was on top of me like this. I shot him, and I didn't think I hit him because he sat up and he said, "Oh, you got me. You got it. You got me. You got it." Something like that. So I thought he was just saying, "I know you have a gun now. I heard it. I'm giving up." So I don't know if I pushed him off me or he fell off me. Either way, I got on top of him and I pushed his arms apart. And I said,
Trying to flip him over?
I don't remember
That's
how I
fine.
got on top of him. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But I got on his back and I moved his arms apart because when he was repeatedly hitting me in the face and the head, I thought he had something in his hands. And so I moved his hands apart.
So you had him face down then?
Yes, face down, and I was on his back. And then somebody came with a flashlight, and I thought it was a police officer. So I said, "Are you the police?" And I still had my handgun out, and I told him, I said, are you the police? And my gun's right here. And he goes, no, I'm not. I'm calling the police. And I said, "Don't call the police. Help me restrain this guy." And he said, I'm calling the police. And I said, "I already called. They're on their way. They're coming. I need your help." And then's when the police officer came around. I saw the police officer, so I stood up and I holstered my weapon. And he said, "Who shot him?" And I said, "I did." And I put my hands up. I said, "I did." And I don't know if he told me to, I just automatically turned my back to him. And I lifted my shirt and I said, "My gun's right there." And I told him a few times, I said, "My gun's right there." And he goes, "Okay, I understand. I just need you to keep your hands up." And he put the handcuffs on me, and then he took my firearm from me.
Any questions?
I don't have it. Anything else?